Good morning, students. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so within few minutes we will start our lecture. Good morning to all. First, I will cover which points we have seen in the previous lecture. Okay, just we have seen 1 minute. I will share my screen. Okay, in previous lecture we have covered only data types. Okay, we have seen how much memory is allocated according to data type. Then we have seen different operators, types of operators. According to category, we have bifurcated, and out of that, we have covered unary, arithmetic, and shift. Then we have moved towards logical AND. We have covered one operator from logical and another one is a logical OR. Now we will see how to implement logical OR in Java. Then from bitwise, we have covered bitwise AND. Okay, in same fashion, bitwise OR is also there. That is this one, bitwise inclusive OR. Okay, so now we will see these two operations, logical OR and bitwise OR. Okay, and after that we will see remaining operators, and next part is related to expression statements block, how to implement it. Then okay, likewise, and then we will move towards the control flow statements. So we will see one by one. First we will cover the operators. So I will edit the yesterday's example only. 1 minute, I will share complete screen. First I will open it all the programs. Just a minute, students, I'm opening. uh, After completion of basics from Java, we will move towards the Eclipse IDE. Okay. Okay. So first we will see the program. Okay, I have created a new notepad. In that notepad, I have taken the same program, but we will see program for logical or and logic bitwise or. Okay, yesterday we have seen logical and bitwise and. In same fashion, here also you are having one difference. That difference is nothing but logical or operator doesn't check the second condition like a logical and. If first condition is true, then and then only it move towards the second condition. Okay, and whenever there is a false statement, then it must check the second condition because this is the or operator. And operator, if first condition is false, then no need to move further. But in the or operator, if first condition is false, then you have to check the second condition whether it's true or not. But in logical or, if first condition is a true, then no necessity to go for the second condition. By default, your truth table become as a true. That's why in logical or it doesn't check the second condition if first condition is a true. But in bitwise or it always check both the conditions. Okay, it always check both the conditions. So first I will write here truth table for logical or. This is the logical or. If any one of this is true, then truth table contains value as a true. Same is applicable for logical and bitwise. Truth table doesn't change, but whenever it start implementing, it check the second condition whenever bitwise or is there. Okay, so according to that, whenever you will check this condition, here first condition is a false and second true. Now see what happened. I have just changed the operators over here. So this is the next program from operators. So I will make a continuity to give the class names. I will first save it. Okay. Now I will go to command prompt. Before that, I will take a path of a bin folder. I will move towards command prompt. My program is present in the desktop. So I will first enter desktop, then folder name is Java. Again, folder name is a D2. Now I will set the path. Now compile your program 7.java. Sorry, compiler is required. I have used the interpreter. That's why it has given error. And take a. Okay. Now here it has generated values as a true. Okay, am I right? But you can see the change over here. You can see the change over here. First value is a false. So purposefully it has checked the second condition, whether it's true or not, because this is a logical or operator. But suppose if I will change the sequence of these two, then see what will happen. First condition is the true and second one is the false. Then see what happens. Just I have changed the sequence. So here your output is true and here output is false. If first condition is get true, it doesn't check the second condition. Okay, it doesn't check the second condition. 1 minute, I will completely change the. I have not changed the second condition. Okay, I have kept as it is. I will save it Now see what is your answer. First, what I have done, I have incremented, right? I have incremented this value. Here also your answer is one and the same. But after that, I will make a one change over here. See it. मी आता फक्त सिक्वेन्स चेंज केला, मी बाकी काही केले नाही, त्यामुळे तुमचा आन्सर तेच असणार आहे. नाउ सी, I will make a slight change over here. I will keep as it is. Okay. I will keep this case as it is over here, but I will make it as a is greater than B. A is greater than B. Now it is by default true. Its first value is by default true value, so it doesn't move towards the second one. Okay, check. Now I will once again compile it and execute it. Now see, it has checked the first value. Okay, but due to logical OR operator, it has, okay, understood it? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So can you implement it from your side? Take this, change these values, means these two parameters you have to change it, and you have to apply the same logic for this example, logical OR and bitwise OR. Try it from your side, then we will move towards the next operator. Hello students, wait for a few minutes. I will join within a 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, sorry for disturbance. What happened? Some of your friends are visiting the college. So what we will do, I will give you some task. Simultaneously, they will also perform over here, and remaining you have to also perform from your side. You can use the online compiler, or those who are having laptop, they can share your screen through laptop only. Okay, so what we will do, we will cover theory point, and then I will explain the program. Likewise, yesterday we have done, and you have to implement it, and at that period I will check the implementation of offline students. Okay, are you clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so is there anybody who has implemented this program right now? Have you understood it? If you have understood, then I will move towards the next operator. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now see. Okay. So we have covered these two. Only this operator is remain. Now we will move towards that operator. That operator is nothing but bitwise exclusive OR. So I will implement in the same program. See what happen. I will show you each and every possibility for this one. Okay. First value I will take it as a true. And what is our operation? Rest 2, but it's actually called as the bitwise exclusive OR. First, I will take a condition as true and false. You can take a variables and through that you can also pass. So better option, I will take here variables and E is equal to false. Okay, just save it and once again compile it. Hello, am I audible now? I have disconnected due to network issue from my phone. Now whether am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now see what we have done. We have written here exclusive OR operation with D and E. For D, we have passed the value as a true, and for E, we have passed value as a false. So, whenever you will check this operation bitwise exclusive OR, then you should know the truth table for this one. Okay, so what is the truth table for this one? True, false, it generates the true. So, you can check each and every value by changing the Boolean values of D and E. Okay, it is a normal exclusive OR. No any differences there like a logical and bitwise. Okay, so normal operation is there. Now, next one, ternary operator. Whether anybody has used this operator previously? Yes, students. Have you used this operator previously?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, means some of you have used and some of not used. Okay, so see what happened. Whenever you are using the ternary operator, in that case, there are three ways. Means first case, after that question mark is there, then second, and next one is the third part. In means ternary operator, it means it is divided into three parts. And it is basically used as a one-line replacement for if-else loop. ओके जे तुम्ही if else मध्ये लिहिता तोच फॉर्मॅट तुम्ही टर्नरी ऑपरेटर यूज करून एका सेंटेन्स मध्ये लिहू शकता त्यासाठी टर्नरी ऑपरेटर मेनली इम्प्लिमेंट झालेला आहे ओके अँड इट्स यूज अ लॉट ऑफ जावा प्रोग्रामिंग टू रिड्यूस द लेंथ ऑफ युअर प्रोग्राम length of your program, and it's only a conditional operator which takes 3 operands. Okay, it takes only 3 operands. Now see how to execute such a program. For execution of this program, you need, I will take a new class. This is our 8th program from first chapter. Then main method, public static void main. I will pass the string arguments. Now, what we have to do? First, we have to declare the variables. So I will first declare A as a 5 and B as a 4. Okay, just for declaration. Now, what is our ternary operator? It like acts as a if-else loop. What we are doing in it loop? First, we are giving the condition and we are checking the possibility. If that condition is true, it goes inside the if loop. If condition is false, it goes to else loop. Same working is there. Okay, same type of working is there. Now we find out the minimum value from these two. Suppose we have to find out minimum value out of these two variables. Here 4 is the minimum value. So for that purpose, you need to write one variable. I will take a variable name as a mean. And how that ternary operator works, in bracket, write A is less than B or not. Okay, currently A is not less than B. Okay. Ternary operator works with the help of two symbols. First one is a question mark. After question mark, you have to check if that condition is true, it goes to this first case. And if that condition is false, then it goes to second case. Okay. This one is the your condition. This is the condition. If that condition is true, it goes to this portion, middle portion. And if that condition is false, it goes to last portion. And just you have to print it on the console. System.out.println. Okay. And just print this value. Now, what is your answer? 1 minute. From seeing the program also, you can find out what is its answer. Whether A is less than B, no, right? Okay. Whatever part present in the second location, that is get printed, because this condition is false. As I have said you that if condition is true, it goes to first part after the question mark. If condition is false, it goes to last part. Understood the ternary operator? So in place of if-else loop, you can use this operator. Okay. Is there any queries?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So I will give you one statement for implementation for ternary operator. What you have to do? You have to check whether age of person is greater than or greater than 18 or not. Not equal to, only greater than 18 or not. If greater than 80, then eligible for blood donation. You have to write such a statement. If age is greater than 18, then that person is eligible for blood donation. Otherwise, not eligible. You have to write that program and you have to share your screen. Understood? Okay, I will keep this program in front of you. Just use the technique of ternary operator and try to implement it. So meanwhile, I will check the remaining students also, those who are offline. Okay. First implement it. After implementation, only inform me. So I will make you host to share your screen. Is it okay? So take your time. You can take a 4-5 minutes. Implement it. Everybody has to implement it. Everybody has to share your screen. Or those who are having any network issue, they can take a screenshot and drop in our group. Okay, we have already made one group. You can drop the screenshots on that group also. I will check over there. Okay. Yes, anybody has completed? कोणी केलंय का complete? Hello students. Is there anybody has completed? You can drop these screenshots on our group also, no issues. Okay, should we move towards next point?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so 1 minute. Is there anybody wants to share your screen? I will make you host. Many of you have solved. I will check one. Yes, good. Chinmay, you have solved correctly. You have also shared your program. Chinmay, have you learned Java previously?
Yes, ma'am. It was in your diploma.
Okay. Because I have seen that you have taken input from user. That's why I asked. No issues. It's very good. Gorakshanath,
Yes, ma'am.
you have used ternary operator as well as if else loop. Why? Okay, so we will see his program. He has done correctly, but he has made one change in his program. See here, I will update over here. Just I will make it as a comment. See, I will take a one value. A is equal to suppose 20. He has taken that value. I will use the same value to show the answer. What is our question? You have to check whether age is greater than 18 or not. If age is greater, then that person is eligible for blood donation. So how you can write it in the ternary operator? So simply take a one ternary operator, that is age, and in that write that condition whether age is greater than 18 or not. If age is greater than 18, then after question mark write a one sentence, that yes, what will be that sentence?
Eligible for blood donation.
Right. So for time convenience, I have written only eligible.
Ma'am,
Yes.
age will be string.
Yes, that's why. Okay, understood. Now see what happened. If I have written here uh, direct string value. I'm purposefully showing you such a types of errors because what happened if you write because you should able to find out the errors and evaluate it. So that I have purposefully written here, it's integer. Now see what happened. Okay, have you seen this error? Yes, have you seen this error?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So whatever values you are writing, you have to check it whether it's in proper data type or not. So here just mention that if you are eligible, then write here as a, and in B you can save the value as a 80. Okay, so I'm making very slight changes in the program. What I have done, I have taken A is equal to 20, which is the actual value age of that person, and B is the limit, means it must be greater than 18. So I have compared with B. If that person age is greater than 18, then it will goes to first condition. If not, it goes to second condition. And what its message? Valid for or eligible for blood donation. You have to write it in double quote. Eligible for blood donation. Okay, because we have written age as a 20, that's why it's eligible for blood donation. Understood? How we have written with the help of a ternary operator? You can use the if else loop, but you can write it within a sentence. You can write it within a sentence. Okay.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
How to get input from user?
How to get?
Input from user. Age.
Okay. Today only I will show it if possible. Otherwise, in the next lecture, I will discuss here how to take an input. Actually, it's very simple, but according to data type, slight changes are there. That's why I have not taken in this lecture. I will take a separate session for this one. It will take only 15 to 20 minutes. Okay. So wait for that time. At that time, I will describe each and everything how to take an input from user. Is it okay?
Okay.
Because here different data types are there. According to that, you have to take an input from user. By default, it's input in the format of a string, but you have to convert it into different data types. That's why I have kept separate time for this. So within that time, we will cover that point. Is it okay? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Should we move towards next operator?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next one is the assignment operator. We will see a simple program for this one. I think you have already used, but still we will check it. I will take a new class. Okay, so I will take a simple one, that is one integer. In that I will take a value as a 5. Value as a 5. Okay. Now we have to implement the assignment operators. How it works. Very simple logic is there. Simultaneously we will see addition as well as subtraction. So I will take a two values. First, how to save the assignment values in the same variable. Suppose I have taken a plus is equal to 5. काय केले मी a ची जी व्हॅल्यू आहे ती 5 ने इन्क्रीमेंट केली मीन्स टोटल व्हॅल्यू काय होणार आहे माझी 10. It means how it works assignment operator meaning of this plus is equal to is nothing but a is equal to a plus 5. It means 5 plus 5 final answer is a 10. Same is applicable for decrement. B minus is equal to 1. It means it will be decremented by 1 or I will write here 2. So it will not make a confusion. Its meaning is what? B is equal to B minus 2. Original value of B is 6. 6 minus 2 is equal to 4. So after implementation, it will print values on the console are nothing but 10 and 4. Okay, so first I will print the value of A, and second I will print the value of B. First I will save it. Now see why this error is there. System dot. By mistake, I have written here comma.
Println, ma'am.
Yes, you can take a print, Ellen. I want to show you that. That's why I have taken only print. Okay, two different methods are there, print and println. See what happens. ठीक आहे. जर मी println नाही घेतलं तर सगळे आउटपुट्स तुम्हाला एका लाईन मध्ये भेटतील. लक्षात आले? म्हणून मग आपण काय घेतो दरवेळेस println, म्हणजे प्रत्येक आउटपुट तुमचं न्यू लाईनला जाते. Okay, now suppose I have written println for first one. Now see what happens. Okay, next line ला म्हणजे तुमचं आधी आउटपुट प्रिंट झालं आणि मग तुमचा कर्सर नेक्स्ट लाईनला गेला. त्यामुळे सेकंड आउटपुट होतं ते बाय डिफॉल्ट नेक्स्ट लाईनला आलं. Now suppose if I have written here print and for second I have written println, then previous one. लक्षात आलंय? इम्प्लिमेंटेशन झाल्यानंतर नेक्स्ट लाईनला कर्सर जातो println मुळे. इम्प्लिमेंटेशनच्या आधी जात नाही. त्यामुळे 10 प्रिंट झाल्यानंतर 4 प्रिंट झाला आणि मग कर्सर तुमचा नेक्स्ट लाईनला गेला. पण इथे काय झालं होतं? सी हे 104 दिसतंय, इथलं 104, इथे लगेच तुमचा कर्सर आला. का? तर तुम्ही प्रिंट ही मेथड यूज केली होती. Keep the difference between println and print with you, because when you take a print, it will generate output on the same line and its cursor doesn't move towards next line. That's why whatever next lines are there, that will be printed in front of that line only. And in println, after execution of your input, its cursor goes to next line. That's why the spaces are available in between first answer and in the second line. Understood? Now see, I will write println for both the statements. Now its output will generate on the next line, as well as if this cursor line is also present on the skipping one line. Any queries?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So this is a simple program for increment and decrement. In same fashion, you can print the values of different assignment operators like this. Okay, so we will implement in the same program for the same value. Okay, now you know its output. So what I will do, I will make the changes in the same program. Then I will divide by method. Suppose I will take a 2. Okay, I will apply the same process for the single variable, so you will not get confused. Then I will use the multiplication. In same fashion, I will use the mod also. Percentage. I will save it and I will once again implement it. Sorry. कोलन लिहिल्यामुळे तुम्हाला त्या एरर्स दिसल्या. ठीक आहे. See. First two values as a previous one, then I have done a divided by 2. Its meaning is nothing but a is equal to a divided by 2. Okay, so according to that, your value of a is a 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So a value become as a 5. For the next statement, a is equal to a into 2. Its meaning is a into 2. Currently value of a is a 5. So 5 into 2, it generate answer as a 10. And here mod operation is there. It means a is equal to a mod 2. It's reminder, and always you are dividing the even value by 2, it generate remainder as a 0. Understood? Very simple questions are there. Actually operator is very simple, but it's required to whenever you will generate a different types of a programs for authentication purpose. Okay, in some banking applications, then in Geo application you should know how to use the operators. It will minimize your time. Okay, now I will give here hint of a typecasting. Otherwise we will take it on the another lecture, because typecasting has multiple ways. So we will take in the another lecture, typecasting and taking input from the user. Now is there any doubt in the operators?
No,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay, so we will move towards next point. Next point is a expression, statement and block. It is a just theory point. Whenever you will learn, automatically you will get it all these values. Currently we have used this statement. Okay, first we will see an expression. An expression is a constant made up of variables, operators and methods invocations. This one, which is a constructed according to the syntax of the long language that evaluate a single value. So whenever you will generate any type of a variable or operator and a method invocation, totally means together they can made a one expression. So this is the one expression, result is equal to 1 plus 2. Next, a statement forms a complete unit of a execution. This one, a statement forms a complete unit of a execution. The following types of expressions can be made into statement by terminating the expression with the semicolon. It means whenever you will complete your expression with semicolon, it will be considered as a statement. Whenever you will complete any expression with semicolon, it considered as a statement. Now see, this one is called as the assignment statement because you have assigned some value to that variable. That's why it is called as the assignment statement. In our program, this one is also assignment statement. This one is also assignment statement. Next one, increment statement. Okay, whenever you are decrementing, then it is called as the decrement statement. Likewise. Then method invocation. You have written something on the method to print the values or to take the values from the user, that comes under the method invocation statements. Okay, and object creation. Now from the next chapter you will see how to design objects. So whenever you will complete particular statement, after that you are writing the semicolon according to type of a creation or type of a method, its name is get generated. Here you are designing the object, that's why it is called as the object creation statement. Okay, so this is related to expression and statement. Next one is a block. Block is nothing but a group of zero or more statements within a balanced brackets and can be used anywhere a single statement is allowed. The following example is related to block. Now you can see this is a complete class. In that different expressions are there, different statements are there. This is acting as a one expression. Okay, and this one is part of a assignment statement. This one is the assignment statement. This one is a like this. You have seen here. Method invocation statement. According to that, this line is nothing but method invocation statement. But this condition, you have written it into the condition of a if else loop. So that if loop is started and completed over here. That's why this is called as the one block. If block, then else block. If you are using if else ladder, then particular if else, else if like this, it means this is a particular blocks. Okay, this is a very theoretical concept, but you should know if you are reading something through book, you have to find out what is meant by book block, what is meant by expression, and what is meant by statement. Is it okay? Now next one is control flow statements. From here onwards, your actual syllabus is started. This previous point is completely basic point. Because of that, you can able to design the Java programs. Now here onwards, your actual programming concepts related to Java will start. Okay, so these are the control flow statements. Actually, many statements are there. Out of I have taken first part as the if. I will just give you the names of control loop statements. In control statements, you will have if else. Right now, I have shown you here different